She was a large woman with a large purse that had everything in it but a hammer and nails. It had a long strap, and she held it slung across her shoulder. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and she was walking alone when a boy ran up behind and tried to snatch her purse. The strap broke, and with a single tug, the boy gave in from behind. But the boy's weight and the weight of the purse combined caused him to lose his balance, and the boy, instead of taking a full blast of heeled hope, the boy fell on his back on the sidewalk, and his legs flew up. So the large woman simply turned around and came right to her in the blue jeans sitter. Then she reached down, picked the boy off by his shirt front, and shook him until his teeth rattled. After the woman said, "Pick up my pocketbook, boy, and give it here," she still held him, but she permitted him enough to stoop and pick up the pocketbook. Then she said, "Now aren't you ashamed of yourself?" Firmly gripped by his shirt front, said, "Yes'm." The woman said, "What do you want to do it for?" The boy said, "I didn't aim to." She said, "You a lie." By that time, 2 or 3 people passed by, stopped, some turned to look, and even a couple who stopped and watched. "If I turn you loose, will you run?" "Yes'm," said the boy. "Then I won't turn you loose," said the woman. She did not release him. "I'm very sorry, lady, I'm sorry," whispered the boy. And your face is dirty. I have a great mind to you wash your face. Don't you got anybody at home to tell you to wash your face?" "No, said the boy. "Then I'll get washed this evening," said the large woman, dragging the frightened boy behind her. He looked as if he was 14 or 15, frail and willow-wild, in tennis shoes and blue jeans. The woman said, "You want to be my son? I teach you right from wrong. Least I can do now is tell you to wash your face. Are you hungry?" "No, said the boy, the being dragged boy. "I just want you to turn me loose. Was I bothering you when I turned that street corner?" "No, said the boy. "But you put yourself in contact with me. If you think that the contract is not going to last a while, then you got another thing coming. When I get through with you, sir, you're going to remember Mrs. Blue Weather Jeans Washington Jones." Sweat popped out of the boy's face as he began to struggle. Miss Jones stopped him, jerked him around, and put a half Nelson around his back and continued to drag him up the street. When she got to her door, she dragged him down the hall into a large kitchen-furnished room at the rear of the house. She switched on the lights and left the door open. The boy could hear other roomers laughing and talking in the other rooms of the large house. Some of their doors were open too, so he knew that him and the woman were not alone. The woman still had him by the neck at the middle of her room. She said, "What is your name?" "Roger," answered the boy. "Then Roger, you go to that sink and wash your face," said the woman. Whereupon she turned him loose at last. Roger looked at the door, looked at the woman, looked at the door, and then went to the sink. "Let the water run until it gets warm," she said. Here's a clean towel." "Are you going to take me to jail?" said Roger. "Not with that face. I wouldn't take you nowhere," said the woman. "Here I am trying to go home to get me a bite to eat, and you snatched my pocketbook. Maybe you haven't been to your supper either, have you?" "Nobody's home at my house," said the boy. "Then we'll eat," said the woman. "Then I believe you're hungry, or been hungry, trying to steal my pocketbook." I want a blue pair of suede shoes," said the boy. "Well, you don't have to steal my pocketbook to get your pair of blue suede shoes," says Mrs. Jones. "You could have asked me," said Jones. The boy said, "Ma'am?" With the water dripping down his face, he just looked at her. After not knowing what to do, he tried it again. He turned around, wondering what next. The doors opened. He thought, I could make a dash for it and just run, and she'd never find me." The woman was sitting on the daybed. After a while, she said, "I was young once, and I wanted things I couldn't get." And then there was another long pause. The boy's mouth opened. Then he frowned, but not knowing he frowned. Said the woman. "You thought I was going to say, but. I don't steal people's pocketbooks. But I wasn't going to say that." Pause. Silence. "I've done things too which I will not tell you, son. Neither tell God if he didn't already know. So you sit down while I fix us something to eat. And you run that comb down through your hair so you will look presentable. In another corner of the room behind the screen was a grass plate icebox. Mix Jones got up and went behind the screen, and the woman did not watch the boy to see if he was going to run. Neither did she watch the purse that she left behind her on the daybed, but the boy took care to sit across the room, far away from the purse where she could see him from the corner of the eye if she wanted to. He did not trust the woman, but he did not trust the woman not to trust him, and he did not want to be mistrusted. So he asked the woman, "Do you need something from the store? Maybe to get some milk or something?" Said the boy. "I don't believe I do," said the woman. "Unless you just want sweet milk yourself. I was going to make some cocoa out of this sweet canned milk I have right here." "That'll be fine," said the boy. So she took out some canned milk she had in the icebox and made some cocoa. The woman did not ask anything about of the boy about where he lived. But instead, as he ate, she told him about his job in a hotel booty parlor that stayed open late, what the work was like, how all kinds of women came, blondes, redheads, Spanish, and then she gave him a half of her tin cake. "Eat some more, son," she said. When she was finished eating, she got up and said, "Now here, take this $10 and buy yourself some blue suede shoes. Next time, don't make the mistake of taking my pocketbook, nor anybody else's. Because shoes come and go, and they will burn your feet. I gotta get my rest now, but I wish you would behave yourself, son, from here on in." She led him down the hall to the front door, and she opened it. "Good night, behave yourself, boy," she said, looking out into the street. The boy wanted to say something else, something else besides "thank you, ma'am," but she couldn't before she shut the door in his face. He barely managed to say "thank you, ma'am" before she finished shutting the door, and he never saw her again.